number 8, Maria Ho, done very well in cash games and tournaments and is a very good commentator as well.
600. Call.
Maria now with the 2 jacks. Johnson is going to go for the squeeze. We're going to go 3 ways to this flop.
3 players.
Jackson in the lead, but equities are running close.
Let's see what's going on with Lakers and Clippers tonight.
Check.
8,500 in the pot, and Johnson at the top of his range.
3,000.
He's going to bet about a third of the pot. Johnson is capable of having some straights here, 6, 7, ace deuce. So even though this board looks pretty dry,
Lakers 4, Clippers 6.
it is a pretty dangerous board.
6,500.
I really like Johnson's bet sizing here, trying to keep in those under pairs to the king.
Call.
I don't know why it's funny to me. There's just something really awkward socially about poker. Right? Quiet. Very intense.
10 seconds.
Wow, pretty sick. Johnson is going to go for another street of thin value, it looks like.
13,000 is the bet. Seconds.
And if you're Maria here, the main hand that you beat is ace queen. That's going to go the distance with 3 barrels. She gives up the jacks.
So, 200. Call. Check. 1,000.
So he's the big blind in one hand. I'm the button. Checks around to me. I got like 7-6 offsuit, so I raise, you know. And he sits there, he looks at his chips, and he raises. Now he doesn't rub his legs. It's like, oh, I'm finally going to be able to use this. He's bluffing. So I move all in. He snap calls and pocket aces. The sad part is I actually had to apologize because I made a straight.
You made it straight in the head.
But I told him afterwards, I said, you won't believe this. I actually only did that because I thought I had a read. That's how stupid I am.
That's incredible.
That's so funny. My friend was like, this old guy just kept watching me, so I set him up in his house. And he bad beat me.
I'm that guy. That was me. That was me. That just proves it's a
He kept
true
staring
story.
at me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I said, you know what? I'm gonna set him up. I'm gonna rub my legs.
I know we've talked about this.
I had nothing else to do, and it's just all of a sudden, he'd do this, and then he would bet, and he'd always seem to have it every time he showed,
I'm just
I know you are.
I know
That's, I
should
know
know
that
that.
to be,
I
I knew
don't
that
have
one.
any friends, so that'd be true.
But it was,
The main thing, Bill, is you won the pot.
and I
Yeah,
shouldn't have.
let's-
And
yeah,
for
let's get
one
to
of the
the
first
bottom.
4 times in my life, I
That's a
I
pretty sick
apologize for
story,
winning
yeah.
a pot. I mean, normally you're always trying to win the pot.
Never apologize. We gotta take that money.
But that one, I know, but that was, I should have been, it was my
Daniel's
knockout.
going to
I should've
continue
knocked
with the
it.
best hand.
I mean, I was laughing the whole. I said, "Oh, this is," and I was telling them the stories of wailing out the hand and all, because I'm packing up and I'm telling them why. And
Like, oh, that's straight.
tell them again, I got this straight.
You're telling him the story before the board runs out? That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a super needle.
Well,
That's great.
Because I'm embarrassed to have to even turn them over.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
Going all in on this guy.
All of a sudden you flop a gut shot. You're like, all right, hold on a second here. That's super funny. What a humbling game this is. I don't care who you are, man. I know the self-deprecation
does
gets
go
old,
for
but I have so many
2200.
stories just like that.
Just going to go bet.
Where you set up
Feels
the-
like when Daniel checks back this flop that he's capped.
10 seconds.
Yeah, like that exact story. Yeah, like on stream several times.
Want me to show you one card? Sure.
Oh, and Daniel
Oh, yeah, that was
calls, and
fun
he's
one, yeah.
correct.
Call. Huh.
Call. Yeah, you win. Good times.
$700. $2,500.
3-bet by Maria with the 2 nines.
He said that she was moving too slow right in front of
I think all options are available for Johnson. A little bit of calling, a little bit of raising, a little bit of folding seems good. Cooler flop here for John.
How much
Maria
you got,
with
Daniel?
bottom set.
100K? Yeah. All right. He has 100,000.
Daniel just added 100,000 in seat number 9.
How much did I win? 123. Bet. 1,700.
Third sizing here on a board that she dominates. She could have aces, kings, ace, king.
Maybe change.
She could have all the sets,
Please break it down.
the best 2 pair.
Call.
$8,800 in the middle. John is still ahead of queens and jacks and some bluffs like 8-7 suited.
10 seconds. Bet. 5,000.
Bet of 5,000.
Call.
Johnson's going to continue for at least one more street.
Seconds.
It looks like she's reaching for something
10,
like
5,
10,000.
10,500.
10,500. Johnson's getting 4-1 on his money. He's got to risk 1 unit to win 3 units, which means he has to be good here 25% of the time. Is he good here 25% of the time? I do not know. It's a very tough board. He does beat like 8-7 suited that might go the distance. Turns a 7 into a pair. And John just pays it off. Sometimes when you're getting the right price, you just make the call.
Huh?
You guys actually read that stuff?
That's no. I tell the story one time.
No need for psychology with me. I just.
I wrote it, and I don't even read it.
At the MGM, they were updating my license that expired. Said to redo the credit line and all that kind of stuff. And they go, well, just sign this. It's the standard form. So I'm going, well.
John
Yeah,
calling with
GM
the
has
raise
a lot of
pre-flop
expensive
gets multi-way
boards.
action.
Look at this before I just kind of sign this. And one of the clauses was that you relieve them
Maria with
of
the
all
straight draw, flush draw.
liability for any actions that would be taken by them or their agents to collect a marker.
Yeah.
And he's going to bet his
So I
top
said,
pair
so if,
from the
let's say I
straddle.
get hit in the head and I'm in the hospital and I can't pay the marker, you hire a guy, he breaks into my house and hits my housekeeper over the head,
Right.
kills her, and walks out with enough stuff to pay the marker. I'm responsible now for that.
Did you say this?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And
I
what
said,
did he
that's
say?
what that says to me. You're relieved of all responsibilities for any actions taken, legal or illegal.
Yeah.
So I said, well, I don't think I want to sign that. So I crossed that part out. I initial it. I sign the marker and send it back, or send the form back. Nobody says a word. So in other
Check.
words, nobody over there read it either.
Right.
And they didn't look at the fact that I crossed out part that they had put in there on purpose.
Yeah, that's funny.
4,000.
And he's going to
Only
keep betting
somewhat
after
related,
no
but
one
I've
folded
heard
the
just
flop.
an endless, like, amount of stories about the crazy shit Vegas will do to get their money. Like,
I'm
if you-
sure.
Yeah. I know some real degens, so they will.
And obviously the state of Nevada case law is all on their side,
Yeah, for sure.
you know.
Yeah, they may have some friends in the civil courts there.
Call.
Maria turns a pair with their flush draw, straight draw. 12,600 in the pot, and
Trying
she
to
gets
figure
there.
out The IRS code, and I think it was all because Harry Reid was, was so powerful in the Senate,
Right. Yep.
and that's where they write tax law.
Yep.
Is how does a casino fly a G, a G3 over to pick you up, put you up in 10,000 square foot villas,
10 seconds.
send you to Shadow Creek, pick up every dinner bill. They're writing it off as marketing expense, and I get it
7,500.
doesn't cost me a dime. I don't have to.
7,500.
I don't have to take. They don't 1099 me.
And a
Right.
lead from Maria.
Now, if
She's
you were a
hoping
business
that
and let's say the bike decides
Andy
to
has a
give the
good
car
king
away,
here to pair
you
off.
won the car. They 1099 you for the car,
Right.
and you got to pay the taxes on it.
It's all.
But all this comp in
Yeah.
Vegas,
It's also shady.
and I'd be over there. I'd be taking groups of 12 guys. We'd fly. They'd send a jet. We'd fly over. We'd go crazy. We'd come back. They'd leave the jet overnight because I'm bringing another 12 guys from the other club. We're doing the same thing for another 3 days.
Yeah.
6.
Did it say that somewhere? Or we were told that? 'Cause I was
Oh, you guys didn't know?
that.
I just found that out right now.
Yeah, John by the button. Yes, it's 4 in the middle. Garrett raised to 6. 130 this or 2,000.
Will not be staying late hours, but okay. At least like 6.
Daniel with the 3-bet. Garrett with just a flat.
I hear there's a good wait list. Really? Word on the street.
3 ways to this flop. And Maria with a set of 10s. Garrett also with a pretty sick hand. He's got a straight draw on the nut flush draw. Daniel also has an open-ended with the king of hearts in hand, so you can make the second nut flush. Maria's going to bet 4,000, which is about 2/3 the pot. Garrett has the perfect removal card for the nut flush. Garrett's thinking about mixing a raise in or a call in with his pure continue with the ace of hearts in hand. Garrett and Daniel both break out, and Maria still with a set of tens.
Okay.
Maria bets 12,000. Snap votes from Garrett and Daniel.
Getting drunk's an interesting thing.
12.
It's like it gets less and less fun each time as you get older, but
Oh yeah.
still fun enough to do it. That's my honest thoughts.
Just the next morning you regret it so much.
Yeah. Like there was times where I like would lie to myself and I'd be like, "This isn't fun. Like, why do I do it?" But if I'm being honest, it still is fun. It just very slow.
Consequences
Yeah,
get worse and worse.
that's
every
right.
year.
Yeah, and it gets a little less fun each
Yep.
fucking year. Yeah. I mean, when you're like a teenager, it's
Oh, it's
like
the best thing
it's
ever.
the best thing ever. Each night you go out, it's like the best night of your life. You know, you wake up hungover, you don't care, right? First of all, you don't even get that hungover.
No, you don't get hungover.
Yeah,
It's not a thing when
but beyond that, you're like, who cares? Next Friday is gonna be the best fucking night of my life.
Now it's
You
like
wouldn't get it, man.
12 hours later, I'm still hungover. I want to die.
Yeah.
I'm drinking again.
Yeah. Myself and several people I know, like it's standard-ish to just hibernate for like a week after a night out. You know, like every meal is fucking Uber Eats, just 1 week straight. Speaking of dark rooms, I mean, I'm good at it sometimes.
12.
No.
And Maria with number one.
Right there.
Byron with open-ended.
Blocked it and went and got it himself. Like it wasn't like a block it himself. It was like no, Davis. It was like rejected and you
Do
went
it.
over and you grabbed it.
Byron also has a backdoor flush draw. He's going to continue. The brick of all bricks on the turn.
Another one, man.
The deuce.
They play the Bucks on the 19th.
See what
and
sizing
Bucks are
Maria
on
chooses
the
here.
winning streak right now.
I think something around 4,000 to 5,000 seems
They have
about right.
Clippers Christmas
Wow.
Day too. That one will
Wow.
be sick
It'll be a
also.
fun game, right?
Yeah.
Two best teams.
Not really.
Well,
I think Lakers Clippers is a more
I
interesting
meant
game.
best records. Two best
Yeah, no, no.
4,600 to go.
Clippers are probably.
For sure. No, the storyline with that, if they both win out, so then it'll be legit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like those three and then like nobody else.
Yeah. It's exciting. It's exciting to know who's gonna win. Usually you just know.
And
Until
Byron
last year,
continues.
Everyone thought they knew, and then they didn't know. Did you see the tribute? I'm sure you didn't watch the game, but did you see the tribute the Raptors gave Kawhi?
I saw like a clip of it. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Byron
I like
with
that,
just
yeah.
jack high.
Shocking. Canadians
in the
are
huddle
really
with
nice and classy. Yeah, they did this like 2, 3, 4 minute montage.
Backdoor flush does
It was-
come in, and
that was
Maria does
awesome.
have the ace of spades in her hand. And it goes check, check. 16,200 over to Maria.
Don't worry, man. I'm gonna reload here in a second, but I'm gonna try one more orbit to run it back up, and then if that doesn't work.
Yeah, we should instill like the John Cohen rule. Or, like anytime your stack gets below, like
You just have this
you just have to reload. Yeah, you're just embarrassing everyone else.
700. Oh. Pump it up. 5,000. Seconds. Call. Heads up. Bet 8,000.
And we got a flush draw versus flush draw. It's going to be a big pop brewing here. Both players with 2 overs. Usually these hands get played super fast.
Ten seconds. Call.
Maria's just going to put in the smooth call. She's ahead of all other flush draws like she is. She's got good equity if Andy does have overpairs. And Andy now with a straight draw, flush draw, and still only has 20% equity, and the pot is already $27,200. Definitely the biggest pot of the night potentially.
Bet 14,000.
And Andy says half pot 14,000. There was a 3-bet pre-flop from the small blind. So Andy's telling the story that he has something like aces, kings, ace, king. Maria has good removal to block those hands. She's trying to figure out how much she has in her stack. She knows she has a pure continue here. She is ahead of something like 10 jack of clubs or 6-7 of clubs. So she does have a little bit of showdown value. Maria's trying to figure out what's the best way to dissect this hand. With the call or with the raise. She makes the call, and this pot is now $55,200, and we're off to the river. And there's the brick. Andy with jack high. bottom of his range.
Ten seconds. Time.
He has around 20 combos of value with aces, kings, ace, king. So you should have around 10 combos of bluffs. So if he's using 10 jack of clubs
Check.
and some 6-7s and 7-8s, and he checks it though.
Seconds.
Maria checks it back and she's gonna win with ace high. $55,200 pot and ace high is gonna win it.
Maria, you have one time.
What do you got? I'll hear you out at least. Yeah, it's free to listen, right? Yeah. Fuck, I want to hear too. Yeah. Take a look at least, right? Yeah.
Three players.
Yeah, I don't really care who it is. There's something about, like, when you play poker, there's a level of insecurity. Like, if someone goes, I know this guy, I can always read his soul.
Yeah,
you're just like, fuck, okay? You know?
I remember when I full show playing, someone once told me, like, I have a tell on you. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can tell when you're gonna fold your hand pre-flop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
But it tailified me. So.
for sure. Said it once, I've said it a million times. If you can get a read on me, you win. You get the money. And I think we got a table full of people who feel the same. We got no hoodies, no sunglasses. You know what I mean, hoodies, Magic. Don't nitpick with me, okay?
John's gonna check again.
What's that?
He's gonna check for the first time.
Yeah. I mean, this hoodie.
Maria does turn to 3.
never
His
wear
Spidey
them.
senses are on. That's how you become the main event champ. You have to run good, but your Spidey senses have got to be on point.
15,000.
And for some reason, with wide range spots, straddle versus button,
No, I just
3
mean
bet
like I
pot,
gained 10 pounds this week. Yeah.
his Spidey senses are on that. Maria could have ace king and ace queen, I guess. Although she'd probably 4-bet ace king, but that she could also have ace 5, ace 7, ace 3 suited. And John's gonna make the call, praying for a jack.
Blake is good, man.
River's a king,
Pretty good.
which is a pretty big brick besides that it's a spade.
The game has really picked up. A lot of big
Because Maria
good time.
would have 4-bet ace king most likely.
Huh?
I would say probably at a 90% frequency.
Yeah, man, you kind of fucked that hand up, bro. What was going on there?
$53,800 in the pot. The main hand that Maria would be targeting is ace queen, ace jack, and ace 10 suited. Some offsuit combos as well.
Always.
$18,500 is the bet.
18,500. This is almost a similar spot earlier when Maria had a set of 10s. John Sin had something like ace jack again or ace queen. Actually had ace 10 that hand. What hands would Maria go call, bet that John beats here? Maybe something like 8-9 suited of hearts and diamonds. Or some 7-8 suiteds of hearts and diamonds. Do we think Maria would be bluffing with those hands, turning those hands into bluffs? Her sizing is so small in the river, it's from a leveling standpoint, it looks like she wants to be called. If she was bluffing with those hands, and I'm not saying she wouldn't choose those sizings, but it seems like she's targeted those hands perfectly with this sizing. Ace, queen, ace, jack, ace 10.
10 seconds.
And it's level 1 of leveling.
Oh man.
Time.
Level 2 of leveling would be a bluff here. And Johnson knows he's getting such a good price, and sometimes when you're getting a good price, you just have to pay it off. I've seen Johnson be spectacular in these spots, though, where he wiggles out somehow, but he only has to risk 18,000 to win 72,000. So he has to be good here, something like 1 in 4 times.
So C9 new.
Johnson thinks he's good here like 22% of the time here. He has to call. Tough spot, though.
Keep going back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Nice.
10 seconds.
And it looks like Johnson's going to have to use another time chip.
Oh, I missed it.
Time.
What is that, 3 times?
Johnson is pretty frustrated in this spot here. The only hands he beats, like I said, were some 8-9s and 7-8 suiteds that turn into bluffs. And Johnson gives it up.
We're gonna reset on time. We're gonna reset right now on this hand.
Nobody home.
Here are the cumulative winnings. Maria crushing. There I am in the corner. That's me, JJ De La Garza. If you guys want to follow my story and my poker grind, I go by JJ40 Poker on my social media platforms. Give you guys some quick shout outs. Some of you guys who've been rocking the whole time. I know Wayne is in and out of the chat, and Dan Zach, commentator and owners of the show. Kevin McCormick, what's up, Kevin? I saw you in there earlier. Mike Hatter, or Matt Hatter, sorry. Eric Peterson, Roger Garcia, Metal Doctor, Come Up Kid Alex, Red Wolves 1, Newton, what's up, Newton? Intramorph, Real, Mr. Tucker, Matty J, Bro. Coven, I saw you earlier, Coven, so what's up, Coven? Alex W, Sid Thinks, Taylor Carroll, Worth It, IPA Poker, Polarizing Chris, Tim 1, Natty Wit, Mad Benjamin. What's up, y'all? All my peeps, Sandy Joy. Hello to you, Sandy Joy. Bill with the open. 2 overs, but pocket 6s are still in the lead.
No. No. Ooh, good luck. Pretty good luck. Yeah.
Worried for a little bit, but yeah, they're good. They're beating so many teams on the road. So
It's
many,
insane.
yeah.
This recent, like, I guess.
Still haven't played the
Bill
best
does
teams
bet
yet.
the
They're
flop,
beating the best
2,000.
teams, but they've beaten,
45.
you know, the top 10 teams, top 5 even.
Maria does have a flush draw on 2 overs to Bill's 6s.
They're the best team right now for sure. But probably.
The Clippers, when they have everyone, they crush teams too. Right? They just beat Toronto on the road. Toronto's pretty good.
Yeah. They just lose every game. Kawhi doesn't play.
Maria's going to continue with her flush draw. And she's good with just a 9 on the river. Pot is now 19,400. This is a board that Bill can go really big on because he can still have aces, kings, and ace-king here.
Oh.
And Maria with her showdown value, I think she can
Clippers,
safely
T-Wolves,
check this
maybe?
one back.
Next one.
And she
Well,
does. And Maria is up around $90,000 now on a complete terror.
The consults and everything, so they sell those out, so it's been worth it, but it's been bad for the basketball team.
Yeah. Do you enjoy it there, like the city itself and?
Yeah, the city's great. I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely
Eugene?
bad months.
Is that
yeah,
right?
it's Eugene, but and it's like January and February, like right about now, it's really bad.
Yeah. Every time I go anywhere in the Pacific Northwest or like Vancouver, like
Oh, yeah.
I just love all of those places
Yeah,
so
they're-
much.
they're all
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It's all a little bit more laid back. Well,
Sure, Portland's quite a bit different from Vancouver, but you know,
yeah.
I group them all together. They're all great.
Portland's the most like granola.
Yeah. Fun place. You bike ride? Obviously, Portland's great for bike riding. Just never got into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
both my parents are big cyclists,
Uh-huh.
but they like just not in so many crashes. I just have no desire to do it. It's just like inevitable.
Yeah. So you don't even own a bike then?
I'm gonna get a mountain bike just like 2 miles from the beach, so it makes me feel like going. But, yeah,
Maria's been really spot on all day, and she even floats with the
I
right
go on like bike riding.
hand,
too,
jack
but, like,
high.
not,
yeah.
like for
Turns
fun,
the gutter.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's
Like
She
very-
turns an open-ended.
Great exercise.
Double gutter.
So you've never had an interest in like a triathlon or something specifically? I mean,
Yeah, open water swimming also.
yeah.
I'm a little cautious.
I don't love swimming. I don't mind it, but certainly don't love it.
Yeah. Training for it's awful.
Yeah. The high that you can get from running compared to like I've never even gotten close. I've tried getting into swimming. It's like, no, I'm just.
It's such a great workout, but it's so monotonous.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's some of that you're running, but like you're going someplace.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't realize it until you start doing more of it. But yeah, like running on a track, significantly fucking lamer, and then running on a treadmill becomes just like death.
Oh yeah.
Like in the past, like I used to be like, this is fine, you know, put on a show. Now I'm just like, it's like torture. I feel very anxious.
Training in my life was I went on like a cruise with my family in college.
Yeah.
I had to do like I did like 70.
And Maria's going to put in the raise.
Yeah.
Just,
73, Chris?
yeah. I know the exact number for that week. So it was just so awful.
Looks like she made it 13,500 to go. Here's the cumulative winnings. Maria crushed it. $103,000 win. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube.